Justin, first of all, congratulations on clearing PMP. Now, Justin has a very interesting thing. If you watch few of our coaching calls, me and Justin have gone back and forth on a question. Justin is extremely detail-oriented person when it comes to question. So that is sometimes very good. So when he was gonna give the exam, I only told him, please take the question as it is. Don't go into the depth of the questions. I'm happy that somehow he followed that advice and now he's a certified PMP. Let's hear from his journey. Justin, why don't you share your entire journey, how things were? Let's starting with the how exam was. So taking backward from there, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So thanks, Amar, and other people in the group who supported me for the questions and answers. Yeah. So for me, the exam was actually speaking, it was easier than what I anticipated. The questions were not so detailed, right? Because I was actually always going for detail because my expectation was that the questions will be more technical and will be more detail oriented. But in my case, at least, it was not so very detailed questions. Questions were, I would say, relatively moderate or less complicated questions. So my only challenge was in keeping the time. So though I was following Amar's instructions on the time, but I was not very successful in keeping the time good. So that was the only challenge, but otherwise the questions were not that challenging, and I was able to cover all the questions anyway. Even though I had some time restrictions, I was able to cover the whole questions. Yeah.
So what was
And
your like time management strategy that actually implemented?
yeah, so I know I had to target for 80 minutes for the first 60 questions. But what happened was that yeah, in my case, I believe the complication of the questions were in the descending order. That means the first 60 questions were actually more lengthy. It was not complicated actually, but no, you are starting the exam, then you want to make sure it is 100%, you are 100% sure about the question and answer. So I took actually extremely high time, I would say. I'm just saying for your reference, but you should not model it, because when I completed my first 60 questions, I was only left with less than 130 minutes of time for the remaining 120 questions. And when I completed my 120 questionnaire, I was only left with 56 or 55 minutes. But as I told you, the order I felt, it was actually descending order. So after the last 60 questions, it was more like two-liner, three-liner questions, and many of them were straightforward. So I was able to complete before 1 minute. At least I had 1 minute to review a couple of questions before, but I did not go for review, but I was left with 1 minute, 1.5 minutes at the end. But time management was not very good. I know that your Amar's suggestion that you go for reading from the bottom instead of going for the whole questions when you are challenged with the time constraint. I was trying for it, but I was confident that all the questions were simple, and then I will be able to answer. So my mind was not allowing me to follow that process. So I followed some of the questions. Then yeah, but somehow I managed to complete all the questions in time. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is, I always prefer, whoever prepare for the exam, I always prefer to follow the time constraints or time suggestions suggested by Amar, because as you go to the last question, then you get tensed because of the time. In my case, fortunately, there were not uh, very detailed questions towards the end of the exam.
Let's
Otherwise, I would have been.
let's go back. First section, how much time you spent? Second, how much? Third, how much was remaining?
After first 60 questions, I was left with around 130 minutes. So 130
130
minutes.
minutes. So this means
Yeah,
you spent 100 minutes in the
yeah,
first 60. Why, Justin?
yeah. Right. That was I.
So,
That is what I
what
was.
was the like? What was the reason? Again, you were going into deep of the question, which we discuss. We need to avoid that. That was the reason you were going, like you spend more time.
Yeah, probably yes. And also, I felt that probably the length of the questions was something like a descending order. Probably in the first 60 questions were.
Let's focus on
Uh,
the first 60 for now. Let's
yeah.
discuss them, then we'll go. So what was the reason basically took 100 minutes? What was the reason? Yeah, I want.
the 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 question sizes were more it was having 4 5 liners more, and then I was no, it was the starting time of the first few questions. I took really long time to confirm, and I was a little worried that I did not want to make mistakes. So I was reading more times, many times. These questions I was reading 2 3 times sometimes, and the answers also I read a couple of times. So I was looking for 100% completeness in answering the questions. So probably that was a wrong approach. I shouldn't have taken that much time.
No, I cannot say
And
anything wrong. You cleared the exam. What about the
yeah,
second section?
it was less. I was able to complete. So after completing the 120 questions, I was left with 56 minute, 55, 56 minutes. So that also I took more than probably 60 minutes for the second 60 questions, but still it was better than the first 60 question timeline.
Hmm.
And yeah, right. And then the next 60 questions, the last 60 questions, I believe it was more simple questions or straightforward questions. So somehow I was able to manage the whole timeline within the
Okay,
four questions.
that is
Yeah.
great. That is great. Okay, so let's talk about which area was mostly targeted in the exam.
Yeah, I believe it was mostly in the communication. I felt, but because many of the other questions were also related with communication, even in agile or process, everything. It was still, I believe, it was communication. Communication is the most important, I think, area. Even though there were some questions about agile and procurement, and that was still about communication. I was just hoping there will be many questions with some calculation, because even though Amar used to say leave the calculation question, but I was interested in I like maths, and so I thought at least those questions I will be no fully sure about those answers. But unfortunately, there were not many, not actually any calculation questions. So in my case, at least, there was only one question about SPI and CPI, but that was more like a straightforward question, not actually a very detailed calculation question.
Okay, okay, okay. So stakeholder communication team agile remains the heart and soul of PMP.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah,
I highly
exactly.
recommend next time when you do the certification, do listen to your coach, especially the coach who is continuously working with you. But you, even in the last day, decided to do your own way. Okay, I am happy that it turned out in a positive way. Just in
Yeah.
otherwise, I would have freaked out.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend that. No, the time we should spend like time like this, but I somehow I was pulled into that. I was
What
thinking that
about
I
when you
can.
were doing mocks, like 60 question mocks? How much time you were taking in them?
Yeah, that is what probably made me overconfident, because I was able to complete all the mocks within the time frame.
Hmm.
So I was became little complacent there, that I thought that okay, everything I will be able to finish in time. So I was, and another problem was that I was looking the time every 1 or 2 questions. I started looking in the time in the clock. So that also made probably a little bit of more. More wastage of time, because once you look into the clock, then your focus is little gone away, and then you have to again refocus on the questions. So that needs some time. So probably we should not took your clock too frequently. Probably at least you should put a break after 20 or 25 questions only. You should worry about your clock. And you should keep a continuous momentum in the question, answering the questions. You should not leave. No, you should not take focus on one question and take more time for that question. You should keep a continuous momentum, and you should not watch your clock no too frequently. You should have a break 20-25 questions. Then you look at the clock probably to adjust your timing and speed. So that is
Recording in progress.
Okay, that's an important thing to look into that. Okay, anything that you would like to add further on?
Yeah, so I started my training in May. So I'm also doing my normal job routine. So I was not having a lot of time to spend many hours to spend on a single shot. So I took probably 5-6 months to now complete the training. But what I did good was that I was keeping a normal momentum. So at least I would say there will be very minimum, there would be very few days which I left without reading something about PMP. Reading means without going through the classes or mocks or anything, right? So I kept at least half an hour to 1 hour time every day for at least learning something about the YouTube classes or mock exams.
Thank you.
So keep your momentum, don't lose heart, and then that will help you to have the focus and pass the exam.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Guys, anyone has any question they would like to ask, please do ask. Did you attend the exam in center or online? You did in center, right?
Yeah, I did it in center. Yeah, right.
Okay.
True.
Justin
Yeah,
did
it was a
the
little,
exam
it
from
was a little
home.
far from my place. It was not near to my home, but still I traveled there and then I took the exam
Okay.
in the center.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, Kapil.
Hi. First of all, congratulations, Mr. Justin. Just want to know one thing only. What do you think, frankly, like if you'll put the effort, like how much time it will take to be ready for the exam?
Okay, so if you have a good time to spend for preparing the mocks and other things, so once you are complete with your mocks and other parts of this training, that is good enough. So I would say if you are if you are confident, there is no definite time for it, right? Once you are confident about it, then you are ready. And why you have to complete your mocks and the instructions what Amar has given. So if you are following all the timelines, then probably 2-3 months probably good enough, more than good enough for passing the exam, if you follow all the classes and the mock exams, everything. But as I told you earlier, I couldn't spend a lot of time, because we also do normal work during the daytime, and also there were many other no even in my company, working company, they also have their own internal internal trainings and other things. So I had to struggle with a lot of other things also. So that made for me it took almost 6 months. But if you have enough time to focus on the exams and classes, then probably 2-3 months will be more than more than enough, in my opinion.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yes, Mahfouz, go ahead.
Yes, many congrats, Justin. I have one question. If you compare your mock questions with the actual exam, which one was more difficult, or which one was more easier?
In so I spent a lot of time in doing the mocks. Although I believe probably I would have completed all the mocks in AMA's database, most likely. So in that case, I felt that the PMP questions were a little bit easier than the mock exams. But I do not know whether it is because I am used to those questions, or because my question batch was easier. So it can also happen that some of the batch of the questions can be a little bit of easier. So I felt the question in the PMP exam was similar, and also like you can also expect some of the spelling mistakes even in the actual PMP. So yeah, there were some yeah, because I always was thinking that the PMP exam will be very very perfect, and there will be there won't be any mistakes.
I keep on telling you, and you do. It all comes back to the same thing. If you do any other certification, this is the first thing. Listen to the coach. If you are going to get any expert, listen to him. If you are gonna put your expertise in that, then what is the benefit of asking that expert?
Yeah.
Right? Now this all come down to the multiple time we have so many long discussion. I still remember we had a long discussion on a procurement question, because you need to understand this thing, that what is the context there and who's the expert and how they are saying. Sometimes you have to accept that. Okay, going deep not always help into that way. Okay, so same like pattern of question as in mock, I guess you already answered. To drag and drop.
No, I did not have any drag and drop. So so I was just yeah, that was one of the reason why I the time management I did not follow some of your lessons. I was thinking that if I get some complicated drag and drop questions, I will do as Amar suggested, that I will just do.
Now you are just trying to put water on the fire. I don't agree.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I was expecting some complicated questions which I can leave, but unfortunately that did not happen. The questions were more straightforward.
all questions were situational question, right?
Yeah, all were. There was no technical knowledge
all
testing.
Questions are situational question. Yes, Gulam, if you're asking there is any situation, all questions are situational. All 180 question. Okay, how do you feel with your routine duties after your PMP? He just did PMP today, so he has not felt that.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you solved all the question or difficult question kept to solve at the last? Yeah. So how did you went to the exam? You solved of course, all the question, right?
Yeah, I try to answer all the questions. I did not leave it for anything behind, because one problem was that I didn't have time to think twice, that I will leave and review it later. So that was a problem. I did not leave anything for review.
You already took 100 minutes. How can you leave anything?
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly.
As per your experience, if you remember, like how many question approximately you correct correctly, he cannot know. PMI does not share that, right?
Yeah.
PMI does not share that. He does not know even if he get any question right or not. Okay, any formula question?
No, there was no formula question. There was one straightforward question about SPI, but you did not need to know the formula behind it. It was just a straightforward question, mostly about the SPI values and its impact on your project. So yeah, in my case, there was no formula question. Also, I believe there were any specific tool, no specific questions like no anything about the tools or techniques.
Okay, does question differ from country to country? No. How much average time you use to give a question? He already shared that for first one he used 100, the second one he used almost 80. He then completed that the entire time. Ji Irfan, go ahead. Irfan sir, yes.
Yes, sir. So, great. Mr. Justin, congrats. Like everyone has said you. Sir, my portion of question is when I heard about your official things, official duties, timing. So my concern is at that point when you joined Amir Saab coaches, at that single point, you must be also facing your official routines. So how did you manage that thing? Like from last 3 days, 3 to 4 days, I'm trying my best to do some kind of study and made some maps and everything, but still I am lagging behind. And you said that your official duties were also like this one, that you were getting very less time to study. So how did you manage that thing?
Yeah, so that's what I was telling, that it was for me personally it was difficult to catch up with Amar's
Please
pace.
mute yourself, sir. Yeah, continue.
Yeah. So it was difficult for me to catch up with Amar's pace. But so what I was doing was that at least no every day at least minimum 30 minutes to 1 hour time I used to spend for learning something. Following the map what Amar has given. So I was spending 30 to 1 hour time daily in the evening after my work hours for following the path.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
I would
yeah.
also add he went holiday on for 1 month in India. You are forgetting that. I did not. You know, I
Yeah, I
remember.
had a holiday, but yeah. But even then, I did not leave it behind. Even in my holidays, at least no, at least minimum I spent some minimum time there. But yeah, but if you follow the whole the timeline, then it is as I told you, I think 2 to 3 months would be more than enough in normal pace. And if you spend say you spend a whole day or weeks for studying, probably you can complete it probably within 1 month time, as Amar used to always say that if you have a good time, then you can even finish it before. But in a normal pace also, you will be able to finish it in 2-3 months time if you follow the roadmap what is provided. So that is a good plan. Yeah, so of course like for me, in case I was having a little bit of more fear of failure, so I wanted to make sure everything is in line, and I wanted to make sure I will not fail. So that is why I took probably this much time. So in normal case probably shouldn't have taken.
I was asking at least 1 or 2 months. Justin, go and give the exam. Go and give the exam. But Justin was taking his time. Okay, this
One
topic
more
for
thing, sir.
relevant. Stakeholder
Sir.
communication, team agile were the most important topic. Yes, Irfan. Irfan, make it quick.
Sorry.
Please make it quick.
Yes, it is short.
Don't
It will be short.
increase it.
Sir, did you had any knowledge before that about this project management, or this was new to you?
I am practicing some of this process in my job, but the problem what I was lacking was that I never had a real knowledge about the PMI standards and procedures. So that is why one of the reason why I wanted to do this training. That is not just about passing the exam. Also important, it's also important to learn the practices and good practices and process and templates, etc. So that is that was what my motivation for joining the training for PMP. So I had some exposure, but I don't think any of the project will follow a complete PMI process to the core, to the word by word. So that is very you won't see. I don't know if anybody will have that, but I have never seen any project following the whole process, no, to all the standards. So yeah, so I had some exposure on the job. It is as anybody who will be working in any projects will have some exposure to some of the area, but it is important to learn all the good practices and standards, so that will help your career in the future when you grow up. So that was what my motto for having this training and passing the certification.
Okay. Okay, Piyush, you have a question. This is last question. How much your percentage varies? It went up and down from mocks to mocks. Piyush, make it quick, please.
Yes, sir. Hi, congratulations, Justin. One question, how did you did your RCA and what was your average score you were getting in the RCA test?
Okay, so the initial RCAs was around 60, 65, the initial stages. And then towards the end, it was above 70, 75, 80, 81, but never 85 or 90, or probably 85 few, but not 90 or 100. So yeah, but I was actually thinking that I should be able to get 100, and that is why I took this much time. But in my case, I think from my experience, I think if you are above 70, getting on an average, that would be good. But definitely Amar can help you in suggesting what is best for you. But yeah, I was towards the end, I was getting around 70, 75, 80 on an average, above 70 in all the questions. Yeah.
Thank you, Piyush. Thank you very much, Justin, for joining. Remember, each one teach one. How everyone help you in answering the question answers. Now it's your job to give back to the community, to help them in moving forward. And I hope to see you there helping them. And do make at least 10 questions. You know that I use them in the PMP marathon, and that will be great. Thank you very much, Justin, and thank you for taking your time and joining and being so true about that you did not follow the method there. Thank you very much. Do share me a picture. I'll make a thumbnail for it. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah.